Miami's got to play close to perfect, and they got to play smart. Now, look, I don't think Ruben Bain's going to be held off the stat sheet the way he was against Ole Miss. I just don't think that's going to happen 2 weeks in a row. I think there's going to be a part of this game where Miami is well equipped to handle Indiana up front because this is going to be the best offensive and defensive line that the Hoosiers have seen. And it might be early on where Miami's just in there, right? And Mendoza's under pressure early and looks a little uncomfortable. But I do think ultimately Indiana's going to pull away here, and I'd pick them to win and cover right now, 10 days out.
Yeah, my gut reaction is that Indiana wins rather comfortably. Akin to LSU against Clemson, 6 years ago or whatever. I think that they're going to do a lot of the heavy lifting towards the over as well. I think that they can push into the 30s in this game, and it's up to Miami to kind of like keep up ultimately. So, yeah, I mean, a little bit prisoner of the moment just because last night it was so loud where Miami just really had to battle, and maybe that's good for them in the end. You could almost say that Indiana hasn't been tested, but it's like they've been tested. They've played really good teams. They've played a good schedule. They've just no one's been good enough to even make them sweat.
Right. I mean, outside of that Ohio State game in the Big Ten championship, that was the closest that we've really seen Indiana coming. And Penn State for 3 quarters. So can Miami do that for 4 quarters? One, you're going to need Carson Beck to be elite and look like that guy that he was at the end of the 4th quarter. He's going to have to do that the entire night. He can't have that oops moment that we've talked about with him. You're going to need Mark Fletcher to keep running the way he has, and I think he might be able to. I mean, I have no reason to doubt Mark Fletcher right now with the way he's looked in the playoffs. He's been incredible. And then Malachi Toney's going to have to make some plays, but they're going to be ready to sniff out every single screen pass, I feel like. And like that could go into the conspiracy theorists too. That's like, oh, they're ready for it. It's like, well, Miami does run that a lot. So naturally you would just
we know
be
that,
ready. Right. Like would be ready for it. And then, Bain's got to be a monster. And we'll see about this injury to Mesidor, too. I know he came back at the very end of the game on that last drive, but he was banged up. He got rolled up on, too. So what's the health of Miami's defensive front? Can they keep getting pressure there, too? So those are just some of the factors that I'm looking at going into this game.
Yeah, I think you have that pretty dialed in on the big overarching themes for that game. And, I go back to that Ohio State game a little bit. And it just feels like any time that Mendoza has bled this year, it just makes him better for it. The pick 6 against Oregon or like that first play against Ohio State where Ohio State bullies through, knocks the sense out of Mendoza, knocks him briefly out of the game. Like Miami's going to have to like look at that and figure out how they would be able to replicate that. And obviously they have the horses to do it, but having the talent and executing, clearly, as we saw last night with the Oregon stuff, 2 very different things. Therein lies a challenge for this Miami team.